Good morning, class. This is the second video on this Indian polity series. Hope you guys are good, doing all the mocks and revising all the previous lectures. Let's start with a quick recap. In the previous class, we talked about the normal book and the constitution book, how it actually looked like. And I told you that in a normal book, the first page is introduction, then index, then chapter, in chapter words, and teacher is over here to help you. Similarly, I tried to compare with the normal book so that it can make you clear about this constitution book. And I told you that first page is known as preamble, which in Hindi we call it prastavna. Then in second, I told you about the schedule, which is actually present in the last page of the constitution. So that is anusuchi. Then I told you about that I told you about the parts which is known as bhag, an article that is anuched. I was talking about this and this, and Supreme Court of India in the end, which is present to help you whenever anyone face problems that in any article. Then Supreme Court of India interpret that line to people. Okay, let's move. Then we talk about that where this book is actually kept in the parliamentary library in Indian case. Then I told you about that he was the person who actually wrote the Constitution of India. क्या नाम है इनका? प्रेम बिहारी नारायण रायजादा. Then Ambedkar, then date of that Constitution Day. Then preamble, I show you that preamble, how it actually looked like. We talk about objective resolution. Then I showed you this preamble is actually like this. There's the first very line, this line, we the people of India was the source, and these five words, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. These show the nature of the Indian Constitution, and these five words, that is justice, liberty, equality, that fraternity, is a very objective. And the last thing, that this is the date of adoption. This is the first thing is the source, the second thing nature, this was the objective third, and this was the fourth, which I taught you in the earlier class. Okay, now move. This was the thing I told you. Let me use this marker. The source, nature, objective, date, these all four ingredients makes preamble. Okay, hope you guys agree. The source done, nature done, democratic. Then I tried to explain the republic meaning. What republic means? जहाँ पे लोग head of the state को चुनते हैं directly या indirectly. I gave you the two examples. So USA is a direct example where people directly elect the head of the state. In India, indirectly. In president election, people doesn't vote. People representative vote. That is, we will talk about in president chapter. Now we talk about objective also. Talk about date also. In two cases, we discussed two cases. That is Berubari case of 1960. In this, Supreme Court said preamble is not a part of the constitution, but it's overruled by Kesavan Bharati case, which is highest till now, 13 judges bench. So preamble is a part of constitution, but you cannot bring it in front of court for litigation and all. Okay. Now from here we will move to a second chapter, that is schedule. We call it in Hindi Anusuchi. Anusuchi कहते हैं हिंदी में. Okay. Recap part done. We will start from here. This is the 12th schedule. In original constitution, there were only 8 schedule. The 4 was added by the later amendments. I will keep informing about that. Let us start. Now let me zoom first. Okay, let me call the marker. Oops. If I will take the marker, then it won't work. Okay, this zoom is enough. Now see, what is this? First schedule is containing the list of the state and union territory. As simple you can read. क्या है schedule? अनुसूची 1 में क्या है? अनुसूची 1 में लिस्ट दी गई है स्टेट्स की और यूटीज की. ठीक है, आसान है. इन सेकेंड लेट्स टॉक अबाउट कि व्हाट इन सेकेंड. इन सेकेंड this part you can see emolument and salary. Emolument and salary is emolument is basically salary for services and all. Okay, so in second schedule, emolument and salary of whom? Let me discuss this to you all. कि in schedule 2 there is section like A, B, C, D and E. Like this parts is written in schedule. In A, the emolument of governor, and president is written. In B, which is repealed, is not longer the part of the constitution. Then we will talk about the C. In C, there is one trick I will tell you. In C, the all the presiding officer, and who are the presiding officers on all? The presiding officers are in Raj Sabha there is chairman and deputy chairman. In Lok Sabha, speaker and deputy speaker. Similarly, in state legislature, who are the presiding officer? That is speaker, deputy speaker of that state legislature, and similarly in this Vidhan Legislative Assembly and Vidhan Legislative Council, that is chairman and deputy chairman. In D, that is Supreme Judges of Supreme Court and High Court, and in E, what is that is Attorney General. Okay, that is tag also that is Controller and Audit General. Okay, which is these are the person whose salary and involvement is discussed over here. क्या किया गया हिंदी में बता देता हूँ. इन अनुसूची 2 में ये डिस्कस किया गया है कि किन किन की सैलरीज के बारे में, मतलब कि किस किस की क्या सैलरी है, ये डिफाइन किया गया इसमें इसके अनुसूची 2 में. ए में क्या है? ए में गवर्नर और प्रेसिडेंट के बारे में. बी क्या है? जो रिपील हटा दिया गया, रिपील कर दिया गया. सी में क्या है? ऑल द प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर. डी में क्या है? दैट इज ऑल अबाउट द जजेस ऑफ हाई कोर्ट एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट. और लास्ट में कैग, कंट्रोलर ऑडिट जनरल. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द थर्ड वन, ओथ एंड अफर्मेशन. शपथ ग्रहण की बात की गई है अनुसूची 3 में. ऑफ whom द सिमिलर विच आई टॉक अबाउट, उनमें बस जोड़ दो, मिनिस्टर्स को जोड़ दो, यूनियन मिनिस्टर एंड स्टेट मिनिस्टर को जोड़ दो. फोर्थ, लेट मी रब दिस. ओके, तो fourth is very easy. Allocation of seat of Council of State. Council of State stand for Raj Sabha. It means कौन से उम्मीदवार कहाँ से कितने उम्मीदवार आएंगे, कहाँ डिस्कस किया गया है इन दिस. And in fifth, very easy, that administration and control of scheduled area and scheduled tribe has been discussed over here. Basically, there is 9 states. Not completely, the sub parts are over there, which is decided by the president. In sixth, similarly like the fifth one, administration and control of tribal area, but here there is defined of only 4 states. There is trick ATM square. ATM, we all used to collect money from ATM and all. So that is trick that ATM square. That A stand for Assam, T for Tripura, and 2M for Meghalaya and Mizoram. Okay, these are the 4 states whose administration and control has been defined in the schedule 6. Okay, let me dub this again. Okay, now seventh talk about division of power between union and that is state. Okay, what are we talking about? The division of power in union and state using 3 lists, that is union list, state list, concurrent list. Let me. Okay, I was on the 7th schedule. Let's talk about the division of power, that is division of power between center and state using 3 lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. Let me show you that list. In union list there are 97 subjects, but I intentionally wrote few which are important for you. No need to mug all the 97 subjects, but have a glance of all 97, so that if any one subject is asked that in which list it is present. For example, if they will ask that citizenship in which list, then you have to mark that citizenship is in union list. Okay, let's start. There is atomic energy, CBI, foreign affair, international conference, war and peace, citizenship, passport and visa, railway and reserve. This all come under union list. In state list, that is policing, intoxic liquids, burial ground, library and museums, communications of road. Basically, communication is here also. Communication is in union list also, but about the telecom and all, agriculture, okay, water, canals and all, taxation on the mineral rights. This came also in the examination. In the criminal procedures, marriage and divorce, education, forest, post office, sorry, ports, and their major ports, electricity, newspaper, education comes also. This is education, which was earlier in the union list, but it was transferred over this on the concurrent list. Basically, what this all about? It means that you in union list, where center make laws, in state list state makes laws and regulation, in concurrent list they sit together on and then make laws and or regulation law. Okay, this was सेवन्थ इन हिंदी में ताकत का विभाजन किया गया है किस इस सेवन्थ स्कूल में डिवाइन है किसका तीन लिस्ट का यूज करके एट द सेम टाइम आई वुड लाइक टू डिफाइन यू देयर इज रैंकिंग गिवन आल्सो रैंक 1 इज गिवन टू यूनियन लिस्ट रैंक 2 is given to concurrent list union list concurrent list and rank 3 is given to that last one, that is state list. What does rank stand for? If there is conflict between two, for example union list and concurrent list, then union list will prevail. If there is conflict between concurrent list and state list, then concurrent list will prevail. Whoever will have the highest rank will prevail, the other will be collapsed. अगर किसी भी दो में विवाद हो जाती है किसी टॉपिक पे, तो कौन सा प्रिवेल करेगा ये उसका रैंक डिसाइड करता है. होप इट्स गुड इनफ. लेट्स मूव टू द टॉपिक. 8th, language which is recognized by the Constitution of India, which is 22 right now. Earlier this was less, there were 14, but after amendments this has increased. Let me show you. There 14 was the language earlier now, but one was added in 21st. Let me use the marker. This is the line. The one was added in 21st Amendment Act 1961. The language was Sindhi. In 71st Amendment Act in 1992, 3 more languages were added, which is Konkani, Manipur or Nepali. These were the language. In the last 92nd Amendment Act 2003, Bodo, Dogri, Mathli and Santhaliya. These are the 4 languages which were added in the 92nd Amendment Act 2003. Okay, let's back to the topic. Now up to here this all was present. Now that schedule Anusuchi I will talk about, it was added in the later amendments. For example, this will be very interesting for you all guys, कि this 9th schedule was the first amendment. This was the first amendment. In which year? 1951. Okay, let's talk about the land reform of 1951. This was added, in which abolition of Jamidar was there. Many acts and regulation was made. In the original there was only 18 or 19 rules, but now there are 200 plus rules have been made. Now let's move further. Let me drop this again. Now about 10th. Okay, let me zoom it little bit. Okay, now 10th. What is 10th? 10th is about that contain the provision of disqualification on the ground of defection. It means it's about anti-defection law. What anti-defection stand for? This was also not present. This was added in 52nd Amendment. I will explain it through an example. For example, I am in BJP and I win the seat, but after that I just changed the party. I just joined Congress. Then this before this anti-defection law, this was possible, but when this rule came, anti-defection law, I was not allowed to just change the party after winning a seat, because this will create an imbalance in the government. So if I want to just change the party, I have to first resign, then I can join the other party. Otherwise, I will be disqualified. This was the anti-defection law that is 10th schedule talk about. In 11th, there is power and authority responsibility of panchayat. There are subjects given to panchayats also on which they can talk. For example, there are 29 subjects in the panchayat, all that healthcare, water, agriculture of their level, small minerals rights also that on which they can use. This was all in the panchayat. Similarly, this was added in 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. After this, 74th Amendment Act 1992, same year is same, but one is added, 74th Amendment Act. That is 12th schedule. Same power and authority of the municipality. In this, 18 subjects are present. Okay. Hope you guys understand. I will. This was the picture for. I tried to just copy it from internet. I can show you that about anti-defection law. That this person is taking bribe so that he can change the party, and numbers will change. For example, if Congress is failing to make that number that needed to stand a party, then this is giving a bribe to come in this party. That's this imbalance. Okay, this was the 12th schedule. आपको हो सकता है कि याद करने में प्रॉब्लम हो. That I created a trick. I didn't create it. I read it from somewhere. I just wrote it for you also. See, trick is tears of old PM. The first T stand for. What was the first schedule? It was about the name of union territory. The T stand for. E was, what was second अनुसूची 2 क्या था? It was emolument and salary. तो that is E. थर्ड क्या था? That is oath and affirmation, शपथ ग्रहण के बारे में था. That A stand for. R stand for, that is राज्यसभा. This is R stand for the allocation of seat in the Council of State. I told you that Council of State stand for Rajya Sabha. This was the one. Then I will talk about the administration and control of schedule area, other schedule area. I told you the ATM, that trick also. F stand for federal provision. That federal always means division of power. I told you division of power between center and state using 3 lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. O is about official language, but what I told you over there, that place, that was language recognized by the constitution. Only to fit in this trick, I use O as official language, but official language is completely different. In the article 343 written, this is not official language, this is actually the language recognized by the constitution. L stand for land reform, I told you. D stand for defection, that is anti-defection law. P panchayat and a municipality. Hope you guys can remember this. Then there are parts. I told you that in the original constitution there are 22 parts, now 25. How? Let me show you. This 7 was repealed from the constitution. Okay, so now 22 minus 1, that is 21. But now see, this 4A was added. Okay, now it's again 22. One more, 9A, that is municipality, that is 23. And now C, this is 9B, that is 24. And there is light 14A, that is tribunals, that will make the number 25 parts. But in the examination, if the option is 22, you have to mark on the 22. Thank you, class. Hope these videos are beneficial for you. Meet you in the next class.